close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.
Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Targaye Nicole here. How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. I'm doing well. So today we're going to be doing an Etsy shop business plan. I feel like that is where I went wrong with my Poshmark store, and kind of need to start over with that because I feel like I'm losing sight of everything. So I really want to do this with the Etsy shop this time around. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. If you are new and you like what you see, we do budgeting, Poshmark, I have an Etsy shop. We talk about all of that over here on this channel. We just drink our water, mind our business, and try to be frugal and happy. So today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my business plan for Etsy. I've already went ahead and let me bring you in and decorated because I didn't want to waste any time. I put a cute little work sticker, Etsy shop business plan, and this sticker says the plan, and this is just a washi tape, and then this is a to-do list. When I decided to start an Etsy shop, I knew what I wanted to do. So after obviously thinking about it, so the first question would have been, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to sell? And of course, you guys know that I decided on cash envelope systems. So cash envelope systems, how am I so crooked and I have little dots to write on? Anyone? Anyone? Anyway, cash envelope systems, and that basically is just cash envelopes and check registers that come with the cash envelopes. I now also sell singles in those cash envelopes, and I actually would like to add ETC on here for thinking of different ideas, because you know, my entrepreneur in my brain is always thinking of new ideas all the time. I just have to figure out if they are feasible and okay for me to actually have time to do. Why would I want to do this? So for me, the reason why was I wanted to offer a product that I actually started using. I'm gonna make it bigger. Started using that I felt helped me tremendously. Because before cash envelopes, I had no idea where all my money was going, and I had no idea, like, I was spending that much on food and groceries and things like that. And I was like, if everybody would, like, anybody who's bad with budgeting like me would get on this bandwagon and start using them as well, they could kind of keep track of the same things like I did. So I was like, you know, I wanted to make this this envelope that was helping me on my budgeting journey. My hope was to be able to help others gain control over their money. Then of course I was like, well, who's gonna buy this? You know, you gotta ask yourself who, what, why, when, where, kind of question. Who's gonna buy this? So I'm obviously trying to sell these to people who also want to be able to control their money and their money not control them. Also, this could be for somebody who not only had a problem with spending in one area, but it could just be they had a problem with spending in just a specific area. This is how I thought about the singles coming into the perspective, or just someone who preferred to have cash or preferred to use cash because they realized that they would swipe their card mindlessly. If you do use cash envelopes, definitely let me know down below what are some of the other reasons you use cash envelopes. And so then I was like, all right, girl, so where are you going to sell these items? And after looking into different options, I ended up just going with Etsy. And that's a simple answer. And then when was I going to open my shop? I had been thinking about cash envelopes since I started using them in January, but I was like, you know, I don't want to sell something that I've only used for like a couple weeks or like a couple days. I wanted to put in my good 2 to almost 3 months of using them before I launched my store, because, and they were something I dabbled in before, but I had tried to use like a paperclip system, and that was a whole entire mess. So actually having pretty beautiful designed envelopes to pull out. I feel good when I go to the register to pay for things and people are like, oh, that's such a nice nice system you have there, or oh, wow, you're keeping your cash in those. I've actually had people say that to me, and just feeling proud of having pulled out that I'm over that. I feel they make me feel organized and I know I'm not overspending. So I knew that after that experience and using them and they actually were working, I was like, okay, so I can start in March. And it just happened, I opened my store, I don't know what's going on with this pen, on March 3rd of 2019. And this is all great for me to write down because then I'll have something to reference. All right, so, and then the how. So then I had to figure out how I was going to start up this whole business and how do I make these things. So first I actually just went to like Hobby Lobby and picked up single sheets of paper, which obviously was not the business but it is what I had to do to start, because I felt as though I'm not going to buy this whole book and then they're horrible, or I hate it, or I hate the process, because not all creative things are for everyone. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a very creative person, but although I do a very structural job during the week, but I like creative things. So I was like, maybe I'll hate doing the process. So I didn't want to invest too much money. So I picked up like single sheets for like, when they were like 4 for $1 or something like that. And I picked, and that's how I got started. And I actually took laminating paper from work and they gave it to me. They knew I had it. And so I wasn't like stealing surprise. I actually still to this day have the actual laminator machine from work. And by the time, because we don't ever really use it, and my coworker is like, go ahead and take it and borrow it and then just bring it back. So when I get my first check or the next check, then I'll probably invest in another one depending on how month 2 goes, because month 1 can go well and then month 2 might slack, and then you're like, maybe I don't even need to be doing this, or figure out a new marketing strategy for your business or whatever it may be. And then, so you needed paper, you needed laminated sheets, you needed a laminator, and you needed a cutter. So the cutter I just went ahead and bought at I believe it was Michael's with a coupon. So I pretty much just did that, and that's all I did for the first week couple. And then I decided I was gonna go and purchase an entire book of sheets when I realized that, oh, okay, this is something I actually enjoy doing, and I can do this. So that's when I decided to do some of the work up front. I didn't want this to become like Poshmark, where, well, not really, because Poshmark you have to do the work up front and then list and then sell. But I didn't want it to be like, oh, someone orders something. I knew ahead of time that I didn't want to have to rush and scramble when someone placed an order. What that means for me is that I went ahead and created like the first 2 or 3 sets that I wanted to put on my website up in Etsy. And then announced that I had the store, and then announced that they were available. Because if I was to like decide on the sets and not make them, that means that when people order them, now I have to stop some fine time in my day to make them. And I didn't want to be that person that had to have like 2 to 3 weeks before you get your order. Like, I just wanted to be that 1 to 3 day person that when you ordered, you got it, and when they were done, they were done. And I'm not here trying to make a business out of Etsy. Etsy is currently just something to help me pay down debt. And I was like, why not do something you actually enjoy? I've even included my coworkers into helping me pick the designs that go together. And that was another thing. My coworkers were amazing, like real life example not really like example, but real life trials. So they would like tell me, no, that doesn't look good. And when I decided I wanted to put the laminating sticker underneath, my one coworker said to me, oh, make sure that you leave the marker on it for a couple weeks, so you make sure it comes off after a couple of weeks. So this wasn't like any fly-by-night thing. Like, I really tried to make it as good as possible so that I gave people great quality items. The last thing I want to talk about is my plan for like how many sets I want to make and the time. So for me, my plan would be I have Poshmark and I have a full-time job. And I think I tried to make 2 or 3 sets initially every week to do an Etsy release. No, it's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me. So my plan is going to be to create one new set, just one new set, and maybe 1 or 2 singles per week. So that's going to create for me about, and each new set usually has about 3 to 4 sets in each. Okay. And so by the end of the month, we're looking at having about 3 times 4 is 12 to 16 sets in the shop. I'm gonna flip it over. So in order, or did I move you back out? So if I'm selling the sets, usually if they're not that thicker paper, go from anywhere, usually like $11 to $10. So I'm gonna aim everything on the lower end. So let's say $10 if everything sells, times, how much did we say was the most? The least would be 3. The most would be 16. So by the end of the month, we can either have 10 times 3, or we'd have, which is 30, or we have 10 times 16, which is 160, right? I'm not bugging, like, I believe that's right. Yeah, 160 is 160 at the most. If I produce everything I produce plus any additional, like if anybody buys singles or the single registers that I offer, and that would just kind of be a bonus, right, on top of all the money. So for me right now, my goal for income from this Etsy shop is an additional $30 to $160 a month. In reality, I'd probably just 160 plus 30 divided by 295. So we're gonna say realistically, I would like to make about $80 per month from Etsy. That minus, if I have 16 new listings up, I'm looking at 20 cents per listing. That's another $3.20 for the listing for the month. Listings for the month. So let's say I had $80 minus the $3.20. We're looking at $76.80. So my goal every month, final goal every month, is approximately $75 per month. And looking long term, $75 times, let's just pretend we had a whole year. Well, what do we have? April, so January, let's do 12 minus the 3 months that have already passed. We're at 9 months times 75. That's $675 for the year that we've made on Etsy. And let's take 675 minus 20% is 135. No, 675 minus 20% equals, because that will be like taxes, is 540. So on the low end, I think that's the low end, or in the median range, if I can make $540 towards debt, that will make me happy, because that's what I plan for the year for my Etsy store. I know it doesn't seem like much, but $540 more than I had before, and I have, I think, less, maybe $540 to pay off on a credit card now. So hopefully over time that will get better, or I'll have a better understanding of what I can make going forward on Etsy. But that would be my goal for the time being on Etsy for my first year without knowing anything. I hope you guys understand that. I basically really just did that with you guys. So thank you so much for coming and joining and watching me do that, because it motivated me to get it done. If you have any questions, definitely comment down below. And we could probably just call it a little bit less than that, because we have to buy supplies. But at the same time, you kind of almost see what it's going to cost you to run a business, if it's worth doing it for you. And if it's most business usually in the first 1 or 2 years don't actually make a profit after considering all of their supplies and taxes and whatnot. But that is what I'm choosing to do right now, and I'm learning new things as I go, and I'm very happy with it now that I've minimized my process from trying to kill myself and getting to the 3 sets out a week. 1 set a week is what I have time for, and then I need to also start to revamp my Poshmark shop. I do plan on doing a budget for that as well, so look out for the Poshmark edition probably in a little while, not as soon as this one. But all right guys, thanks so much for watching. Remember, in order to be great, you have to be grateful, and I'm super grateful for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Bye.